Snow fell like flakes of frozen confetti over the abandoned amusement park, muting the world in white silence and making the rusted Ferris wheels look like relics from a carnival that had died long before either of them was born. Max and Aelira would have appreciated the atmospheric beauty of it if he wasn't kneeling in front of a ninth, violet-skinned warrior who looked like she could bench press a shuttlecraft with one arm and snap his spine with the other. "You really don't have to kneel," she muttered awkwardly, glancing away as her mint-green hair fluttered in the wind. "It makes me feel like I'm about to receive a disappointing marriage proposal from a man who cannot possibly handle me." Max grinned up at her through the snowflakes. "Who says it would be disappointing?" She rolled her eyes and tried to look intimidating, but the way she shifted her weight made it obvious she was embarrassed. For a woman who had cracked warships open with her bare hands, embarrassment was apparently her natural predator. Her name was Aelira, a Xanthari shield maiden with a reputation for breaking bones, breaking siege lines, and breaking the self-esteem of any man who attempted to flirt with her. Max was, unfortunately, completely immune to discouragement. "You're freezing," he said, reaching up to adjust the fur lining on her armored gorget. His gloves brushed her collarbone, and she instantly flinched like he'd poked her with a plasma torch. "I don't," she sputtered, grabbing his wrist, then immediately dropping it as if afraid she'd break it. Max raised a brow. "Your collarbones. My sensitive areas," she muttered, looking anywhere but his face. "Xanthari nerve clusters. Very private, very off-limits, very tingly, so I stopped discovering things." Max only laughed, brushing melted snow from his hair. "You know, for someone who led her entire species' northern battalion, you're surprisingly shy. You're surprisingly fragile." She huffed. "You're human, soft, breakable, you have no exoskeletal plating. Your neck is scandalously exposed. Your organs are soft and constantly sloshing around. I can hear them. You can hear my organs. Everything inside you is unsettlingly squishy. Romantic, I am trying." She snapped, flustered. "I'm not good at this." Her glowing eyes softened, and something in Max's chest melted a little. They'd met 3 months ago, when Max's research expedition crash-landed on the ice moon of Terrell-9 in a spectacular display of bad life choices and worse piloting. Aelira had saved his life repeatedly, often while lecturing him about his species' questionable survival instincts, which made it weirder that the two of them were now meeting secretly in abandoned amusement parks like awkward teenagers hiding from their parents. If those parents were entire interstellar governments, Aelira glanced around the silent snow-buried park. "You risked coming here. Alone, you risked coming to... I'm 9 feet tall and made of combat. You get hurt when you bump into countertops." Max stood and dusted his knees. "Not when the countertop is a very beautiful alien woman. That is not how metaphors work." "Still true." She let out a sound that might have been a battle growl or an embarrassed cough. With Aelira, the two were practically the same thing. He reached for her hand, a massive taloned, claw-tipped hand that looked capable of ripping through a tank hull but currently trembled at his touch. "Max," she said quietly, "I told you why we can't keep doing this." "Because you're too big," he teased gently. She bristled. "Do not use my own words against me. You're the one who said it." "It wasn't a request for teasing. I meant it. My species doesn't mate with humans. Physically, biologically, my body is too large, too powerful, too beautiful." She froze. Max stepped closer, lowering his voice. "Aelira, you keep acting like I'm made of glass." "You are made of glass." He laughed again. She groaned in frustration. "I don't want to hurt you," she said, "or crush you, or accidentally split you in half." During a moment of enthusiasm, her cheeks flushed a deeper purple. "And God's help me, Max, you inspire a lot of enthusiasm. If this is your version of flirting, it's working." No, I tied, is not." He grinned. "Then let's redefine working." She threw her hands up. Snow puffed off her armor. "You drive me mad. Humans do not fear anything, especially the things they should. You're not one of the things I should fear." "But I am, Max." She stepped back, her enormous boots leaving craters in the snow. "My people see humans like fragile little prey animals. Cute, mostly harmless, always panicking about something. Your hearts beat too fast. Your bones snap too easily. Everything is tiny. You think I'm tiny? Compared to me, you're portable." He blinked. "Portable, like a pocket version of a boyfriend." She nodded solemnly. "Yes, you are boyfriend-sized." Max snorted. "If you carry me around in your armor like a handbag, I swear, I wasn't planning to carry you in my armor." She paused. "Unless you wanted that." "Absolutely not." She looked disappointed. "Oh," he rubbed his temples. "Aelira, listen, I don't care about the size difference. I don't care about the species difference. And I really don't care what everyone else thinks." Her expression softened into something almost vulnerable. "Max, there's another reason. Another reason." She hesitated, then knelt. "Well, half-knelt, since kneeling brought her down only to about his height. My people don't pair bond lightly," she said quietly. "If I choose someone, it is forever. Not years, not decades, forever, until our bodies turn to dust, until our spirits fade into the cosmic streams, until I get it." He interrupted gently. "You don't." she insisted. Our bond is biological, and if I choose you, my body will adapt to you. Permanently, I will not be able to choose another. Max swallowed. So what you're saying is you're monogamous. I am cosmically monogamous. That sounds like my ideal relationship status. She stared at him as if he'd declared himself the king of bad ideas. And if that happens, she whispered, there is a chance, small but real, that I could become fertile. Max blinked. Wait, you mean yes? She said, looking away, embarrassed to death. There is a chance, of very small, highly improbable, nearly impossible, astronomically unlikely chance that you could impregnate me. Max opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again, then said the least appropriate thing imaginable. That would be amazing. Aelira slapped her face with her palm. Humans should come with warning labels. Okay, look. Max held up his hands. I wasn't being weird. I just meant it would be incredible. The idea that two completely different species could bet is not helping. He stepped forward again, gentler. Aelira, the reason you came here today, is it because you've been thinking about me? About us? I have been thinking too much, she muttered. About you. About what you make me feel. About the fact that my pulse accelerates every time you smile at me. About how your scent lingers in my armor after you hug me. About how your tiny, stupid hands always know exactly where to touch to make my knees stop functioning. So, good things, awful things, she corrected. Terrifying things, then barely audible intimate things. Max smiled faintly. I feel all of that too. You do? Every bit of it. She looked like she didn't know whether to melt or run away. Max stepped close enough for her warmth to radiate through the cold air, and took her massive hand again. This time she didn't pull away. Aelira, he said softly, I'm not afraid of you. I'm in love with you. Her pupils widened. Her breath hitched. Snowflakes clung to her lashes like tiny frozen stars. Max, she whispered, say it again. I'm in love with you. She made a sound halfway between a growl and a whimper. Then very carefully she cupped his cheek with her palm, which covered half his head. You brave, reckless, bewildering little human, she whispered, her voice trembling. You have no idea what you've just done. He grinned. I have a general idea. Max, she breathed. If I bond with you, if I love you, I will never love another. I will protect you until the end of time. I will carry you across galaxies. I will fight anyone who threatens you. I will. Sounds perfect. She groaned. This is not a negotiation. But it was too late. Max leaned into her touch, and something in her heart cracked open like thawing ice. He kissed her palm. Aelira froze completely. Max, yeah, my body is reacting. Is that a bad thing? It is a dangerous thing. If I lose control, if I pull you too close, if I hug you too tightly, you won't hurt me. You don't know that, but I trust you. Her eyes shimmered. Slowly, agonizingly, slowly she leaned forward. Her forehead touched his. Her breath warmed his face. This is forbidden, she whispered. Impossible, ridiculous, irresponsible, unwise, reckless. I'm hearing romantic. She laughed, a low rumbling sound he adored. Then Aelira kissed him, not fiercely, not passionately, not with the intensity of a war maiden who could crush him. Accidentally, but gently, tentatively, like she was touching something sacred. When they finally parted, breathless, she whispered, Max, you've doomed us both. He smiled. Best doom ever. She groaned and pressed her forehead to his again. I swear to the stars, if you get me pregnant, I will never forgive you. You say that like it's a possibility. It better not be, she hissed. My body is too big, too dangerous, too incompatible. I am not breeding material for humans. Want to bet? Max, he laughed, and she tried not to smile, but she failed, and the snow continued falling as if blessing something that shouldn't have been possible, but somehow was. Aelira spent the next 3 days avoiding Max with the tactical precision of a seasoned war strategist. Max spent the next 3 days pretending not to notice while absolutely noticing. She wasn't subtle, at all. On day 1, he saw her attempt to duck behind a boulder the size of a shot, which, frankly, was the worst hiding spot imaginable for someone glowing faintly with bioluminescent skin and hair as green as radioactive kelp. Max had to pretend he didn't see her crouch behind it like a 9-foot-tall toddler who thought if she closed her eyes, she became invisible. On day 2, she tried to use a holographic cloaking projector that was very much not designed to hide anyone over 6 feet. It made her appear as a shimmering distortion, a kind of giant, war-like jellyfish glitching in the snow. She may as well have broadcasted, I am not here. Definitely ignore the enormous, shimmering alien ghost lady. On day 3, she attempted silence, which lasted approximately 12 minutes, because Max found her at the crash shelter they'd retrofitted together, sitting cross-legged outside, like a guilty deity waiting to be worshipped, or scolded, or both. Hi, Max said. Aelira practically jumped out of her armor. Human. I wasn't. This is not. Why are you here early? I live here. Oh. He approached slowly, the way one would approach an easily startled but extremely deadly wild animal. Are you avoiding me? No, she said instantly. He raised a brow. Maybe Aelira. She put her massive hands over her face. I panicked. You panicked. You kissed my hand. She blurted, as if that explained everything. Do you understand what that means for my species? That is an extremely intimate gesture. Max tried not to laugh. It was a kiss on the hand. Not it was a bonding gesture, Max. Well yeah, that was kind of the idea. Aelira made a strangled noise and sank lower into the snow. My people don't kiss casually, she explained. We don't kiss out of politeness, or affection, or because someone looks cute and fragile and says charming things like I'm not afraid of you, even though they very much should be. So how does Anthari kiss? Max asked. She froze. He regretted asking instantly, her face flushed so deeply it turned almost magenta. We don't kiss in the human way, she said stiffly. Our equivalent is complicated. Complicated, how? Her gaze darted away. Biologically complicated, emotionally complicated, spiritually complicated. It involves scent bonding, nerve cluster connections, pheromone alignment. That sounds like a very elaborate makeout session. It is not. He grinned. Okay, but if kissing hands is so intimate for you, then what we did the other night, do not say it, she begged. Kiss, Max, on the lips. Silence. That was she covered his mouth with her giant palm. Do not say another word, she said, mortified. If you remind me, my heart will explode. Literally, he said something muffled. She blinked and removed her hand. What did you say? I said your hand tastes like frost and metal. She stared at him, then groaned, then flopped backward into the snow, with a dramatic hump that shook the ground. Why are you like this? She muttered to the sky. Why must you say things that make my biological systems misfire? He lay down beside her, well, next to her. She took up 3 times the space he did. Because I like you. You love me, she corrected quietly. Yes, that too. The silence that followed was soft. Snow drifted down. The air felt like it held its breath. Max, she finally said. I avoided you because I was thinking. That's dangerous. Do you want the truth or not? Always. She sat up, expression serious. I am afraid. He blinked. Of what? You, she said bluntly. Max sat up too. Me, you ruin every logical system I have. You contradict every assumption I ever made about humans. You are small and breakable and emotionally chaotic, and yet you're fearless. You challenge me, you tease me, you trust me with everything. Even when I'm dangerous. You're not dangerous. I split a charging warhog in half with my bare hands last month. That warhog was asking for it. It was a herbivore, and rude. She fought a smile, lost. But the point, she continued, is that I feel more when I'm near you than I should. More than I've ever felt, and that terrifies me. Max scooted closer. Why? Because last night, I felt my body react. My instincts, my pheromone cycles. I felt my biology. Responding to you, she swallowed hard. The bonding response has begun. He gently touched her wrist. Is that bad? It is irreversible. He froze. She nodded. If I continue seeing you touching you being close to you, my body will finalize the bond. I won't be able to stop it. Her voice trembled. And once it completes, I will be bound to you. Completely. Max breathed in slowly, then exhaled. You're saying you'd be stuck with me forever. Yes, he smiled. Great. Max, this is not a joke. I'm not joking. She stared at him, speechless. You think I don't know what I'm doing? He said quietly. I want you. Not temporarily. Not out of infatuation. Not because you're gorgeous, which, by the way, you absolutely are, but because you're you. You're insane. Probably, and unwise. Definitely. And too confident for your own good. Absolutely. He brushed his fingers against hers. She didn't pull away. Aelira. He murmured. Stop running from me. Her voice cracked on the next breath. I don't know how. He leaned his forehead against her arm because he couldn't reach her forehead without a ladder. Let me teach you. She exhaled shakily. Max, if I bond, I might become fertile. Even though it's almost impossible, there is a chance. Okay, he said simply. Okay, that's all you have to say. Pretty much. What is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? He shot back playfully. You act like being pregnant is a curse. It would be disastrous. My species gestates for 14 months, and hybrid offspring, if such a thing were even possible, would be enormous and extremely dangerous to carry. Are you saying our future hypothetical baby would kick through a wall? Yes? Cool. Stop that. Max laughed. Aelira threw her hands up in exasperation, then crossed her arms and glared at him with all the fury of a woman who absolutely cared far too much. You're impossible, she muttered. You like me anyway. She grumbled something in Xanthari that sounded rude and affectionate at the same time. He leaned back on his elbows. So, what happens now? Now we must be cautious. You cautious. This is serious. And we're kissing again in less than a week. Aelira gasped in horror. We are not. Yes, we are. We absolutely are not. You're thinking about it right now. She turned bright purple. Nitrogen monoxide, I am not. He grinned. You really are. She looked away. Maybe a little. They sat in awkward, adorable silence for a moment. It was Aelira who finally broke it. Max, yeah, I'm still afraid, and I'm still here. She stared at him long enough for the air to feel thick with unspoken meaning. Then, slowly, she extended her hand. Come here, she said softly. He stood, brushed snow off his coat, and stepped into her reach. Aelira carefully lifted him onto her lap, settling him against her armor like he weighed nothing more than a blanket. Max blinked. Well, he said, this is new. I feel calmer this way, she whispered, holding you. Her hand enveloped his side, warm and protective. It soothes the bond response. Oh, is that all? She narrowed her eyes. Do not make this weird. No promises. She sighed, but she didn't let go. In fact, she pulled him slightly closer, tucking him against her chest as if she were shielding him from the entire universe. Max, she murmured, voice low, if this bond becomes permanent, you will be mine. I already am, and I will be yours. He rested his head against her armor. That sounds nice. It is terrifying. It's also kind of romantic. Silence. Snow continued to drift around them. Max Aelira whispered, yeah, if I do get pregnant, yes, you better take responsibility. He grinned, absolutely, and help me pick a name, of course, and rub my feet. All 4 of them. I do not have 4 feet, I'm just confirming. She groaned loudly. I swear, when the bond completes, the first thing I'm doing is carrying you everywhere so you cannot say stupid things unsupervised. You're going to carry me. Yes? Like a princess. She paused. Yes. Max smiled like a man who'd just won the intergalactic lottery. Aelira groaned again, but her arms tightened around him. The bond was beginning, and neither of them wanted it to stop. Aelira learned something horrifying the next morning. Humans cooked breakfast. Max cooked breakfast for her, and that was apparently her new weakness. She sat in the doorway of the crash shelter, knees drawn up, armor gleaming with frost, staring at the tiny spatula in his hand like it was a weapon of seduction, specifically engineered to dismantle her emotional stability. What? She whispered. Is that smell? Pancakes, Max said, flipping another golden circle with a proud flourish. She inhaled again. Her pupils dilated. It smells like joy and butter. That's the goal. She pointed an accusing finger at him. You cannot just produce things like this. It is unfair, unethical, highly manipulative. Max laughed. It's literally breakfast. It is a binding ritual, she hissed. If you feed me things this delicious, my species interprets it as a courtship overture. Oh, he said innocently, then I guess I should add syrup. Max nitrogen monoxide. He added syrup. Aelira nearly fainted. She grabbed one pancake with both hands, as if handling an ancient relic, and took a bite. Her eyes rolled back. Stars above. I understand everything now. You okay? No, she groaned. I am compromised. Utterly compromised. She took another bite. If the Conclave ever learns humans can cook like this, they'll declare your species a universal threat. I'll take that as a compliment. Do not, she growled, because I am not complimenting you. He smirked. You kind of are. She wolfed down the rest of the pancake before she could embarrass herself further. Max poured more batter. Aelira watched him like a giant, lovesick, extremely stressed out kitten. This is a problem, she finally muttered, because of the bonding thing. Yes, she said, clutching her chest. It is accelerating. I can feel it. How? My heart rate spikes every time you look at me. My temperature rises. My scent changes. My nerve clusters activate. It is a biological siren screaming attached to this human immediately. Max grinned. Seems accurate. Stop being pleased about this. He leaned against the counter. Aelira, you're acting like bonding with me is a disaster. It is a disaster. Why? She threw her head back dramatically. Because it means everything changes. My duties, my future, the conclave, the expectations of my entire species, and me. She froze. Yes, she whispered, and you. Max walked over and put his hands on her armored knee. It was like touching a heated boulder with a pulse. You think I don't know what bonding means? He said softly. You think I don't know how serious this is for you? Do you? Yes, you are lying. Nope. She narrowed her glowing eyes. Explain it. Then, well, he said, clearing his throat, I know that if you bond with me, you're stuck with me forever. She nodded, and you'd become incredibly protective of me. Correct, and biologically attuned to me. Yes, and sometimes, affectionate. She blushed violently. Max. But mostly, he continued, it means you chose me. And I chose you. She stared at him as if trying to process an emotion she didn't have the vocabulary for. No one has ever chosen me before, she said quietly. Max blinked. What? Not like this, she clarified. Not completely, not without hesitation, not knowing everything I am. Max stood, cupped her face in his hands, and said, Aelira, you're incredible, strong, brilliant, brave, kind, gorgeous. She made a little strangled noise. And funny, he added. I am not funny. You are absolutely funny. I am a warrior. You can be both. She put her hands over her face. This is too much. He gently pulled her hands away. Aelira. She met his eyes. He smiled, and slowly, so slowly she barely noticed she was moving. She leaned in, their foreheads pressed together. Heat radiated between them. This is dangerous, she whispered. I like dangerous. Do not say that. It activates things. Like what? She groaned. Max. His thumbs brushed her cheekbones. You're shaking. I am not, she lied. You are. Shut up. He grinned. Make me. She froze completely. Her eyes widened. Max, she said shakily. You cannot say things like that to me. I will lose control. Maybe a little control is okay. No, it is not. If I lose control, I will. She looked away, cheeks dark purple. I will touch you too much. I don't see the problem. You don't understand. Xanthari affection is intense. How intense? She clutched her chest. Maximum intensity. Is this like when you picked up that 30-ton ice crawler and threw it? That was different, isn't? Yes, he smirked. So you get really affectionate. She let out a noise somewhere between a growl and a squeak. Max, please stop talking. He sat back down beside her and leaned gently against her side. She stiffened, then relaxed. A little. You're warm, he said. You're small. She countered, portable. She groaned. Do not use my words against me. He rested his head on her arm. Do you want me to stop? Yes, she said immediately. He lifted his head. No. She corrected even more quickly. He laughed softly and leaned back again. They sat like that until she finally whispered. Max, yeah, my body is responding again. He swallowed. How do you know? My bonding glands are active. Bonding glands? Yes. Where are they? Private. Oh, very private. Should I be worried? Yes. How worried? On a scale of 1 to 10, iceberg level, he blinked. That's not a number. It is when you are sinking. I feel very reassured. You should not. She sniffed the air suddenly. Her eyes widened. Max stiffened. What's happening? I can smell you. You can always smell me. No, I can smell you. What's the difference? So, her breath hitched. Your scent is changing, she whispered. It's aligning with mine. Is that bad? That means you are bonding too. Max blinked. Wait, humans can't. You're not bonding biologically, she explained breathlessly. You're bonding emotionally, psychologically. You're attuning, matching, mirroring. It's rare for humans but not impossible. He blinked. So I'm imprinting. She covered her face. Max, do not use that word. Why? Because it sounds like something a teenage mammal would do in the woods while trying to impress a mate. He laughed, then stopped, then blinked. Wait, he said slowly. So if I get attached enough to you, it syncs with your biology. Yes, so if I fall in love with you, you already did. He opened his mouth, closed it. Oh, yes, she whispered. He leaned back. Okay, that explains a lot. Explains what? Why I keep wanting to be close to you. She turned magenta, and why I keep wanting to touch your arm. She started, vibrating, and why kissing. Your hand made me feel like my heart exploded. She strangled a sound. Max, and why I keep thinking about Max. Do not complete that sentence. He grinned stupidly. Aelira hid behind her own hands, shoulders shaking with mortification. Then she lowered them slowly and looked at him deeply. Seriously, almost reverently. Max, she whispered, if this continues, if we complete the bond, I won't be able to be gentle with you anymore. What does that mean? I will want you constantly. Oh yes, oh, do you understand? Define, understand. Max, he swallowed. Okay, but you want me to, right? Her jaw tightened, her breathing quickened. Yes, she admitted. More than I should, more than is wise, more than I can control. He grinned, soft and stunned. Good, it is not good, she snapped. If the bond completes, I will want to be near you always, touch you always, hold you always. It will be overwhelming. For who? For you. For me, Max said incredulously. Aelira, how is that overwhelming? Being held by you is basically like being wrapped in a heated, anti-stress blanket. She stared, then let out a hysterical laugh. You are unbelievable. You love me. Unfortunately, hey, she smirked. Fortunately, he beamed. Aelira rubbed her forehead. I swear, Max, if this continues, it is only a matter of time before a sudden vibration shook the air. A low hum, followed by a sharp crack of electricity. Aelira shot to her feet in one smooth motion, pulling Max behind her instantly. Oh no, she whispered. What? Max whispered back. The conclave has found us. He blinked. That's bad, right? Max, she said, armor locking into combat mode, eyes glowing bright. They have one mission. What mission? To prevent exactly what is happening between us? Max swallowed. Well, he muttered. This is awkward. Aelira bared her fangs. No, she growled. This is war. Aelira didn't hesitate. One moment she was standing, eyes glowing, armor humming with combat energy. The next moment, she scooped Max into her arms like he weighed nothing and launched herself behind a rusted, snow-covered bumper car track. She landed with the silent precision of someone built for war and the trembling panic of someone overwhelmingly in love. Max, she whispered urgently, you must stay behind me. No matter what, he blinked. I always stay behind you. Physically, it's the only place to be unless you want me to stand inside you. Not helping. She peeked around the metal barrier. 3 Xanthari courier drones hovered above the old amusement park. scanning in wide arcs with blue searchlights. Max whispered, "Are they dangerous? A single one of those drones can vaporize a glacial ridge. So, a little dangerous, Max. Yeah, please stop downplaying the lethal robots." He nodded. "Got it. Begin panicking immediately. Thank you." A loud buzz cut through the snowfall as one drone descended to ground level. A hologram flickered to life. High Counselor Sirith, tall, elegant, with the expression of someone who found the concept of joy personally offensive. "Aelira Vesh," the hologram declared, voice echoing across the park. "Your biological readings indicate the beginnings of a mating bond with a human." Max muttered, "Wow, no privacy laws in your culture." Aelira bonked his shoulder lightly. "Not now," the hologram continued. "You are a shield maiden of the Zen. Your genetics are critical to our species. Your bond must be with a compatible warrior of equal stature, not with a fragile, unsuitable, dangerously small." Max poked his head up. "Rude." Sirith's hologram turned toward him, as if she could smell his human audacity. "And you, human male Maxim, you will relinquish your involvement. Immediately, for your own safety." Aelira hissed. Actual hissed, like an angry cosmic panther. "Touch him," she growled, stepping out from behind the bumper car, "and I will tear down your entire council chamber with my bare hands." Max peeked out behind her massive legs. "Just for the record, I support this message." "Aelira Vesh," Sirith snapped, "your emotions are compromised. The bond must not proceed. You risk biological misalignment, permanent misalignment should your human expire." Aelira froze. Max felt her tremble. Expire, as in, die. The weight of that hit him harder than any snowstorm. "Aelira," he said softly, putting a hand on her elbow. "Hey, look at me." She did. Her eyes were terrified. "I know the risks," he whispered, "and I still choose you." Her breath caught. Her pupils expanded. Her stance shifted, protective, fierce, unstoppable. Sirith's hologram flickered. "Enough. Drones, retrieve Aelira Vesh and terminate human contact immediately." Aelira roared, sound shaking the Ferris wheel behind them. "He is mine." Max blinked. "Okay, wow, that's really hot." She scooped him up again, much to his undying delight, dashed across the park as twin drones fired. Plasma bursts that melted snow and rusted metal alike. "Aelira!" Max yelled over the noise. "Where are we going?" "To the only place they can't track us," she shouted. 20 seconds later, she burst into the abandoned arcade building. Old neon signs flickered to life as if startled awake. Snow dust blew in behind them. She set Max down, chest heaving. "Explain," he panted. "The bonding shelter," she said. "Every Zenthari knows where to find one. It's a ritual space. It scrambles biological readings. They won't detect us here." Max blinked. "So, this is essentially a cosmic panic room for horny aliens." Aelira slowly turned to him. "Yes," she deadpanned. "And please, never call it that again." He shrugged. "If it walks like a panic room and quivers like a panic room." "Max," she grabbed his shoulders and pulled him close just an inch. From her chest, armor. The tension shifted. Not danger now, emotion, fear, and something deeper. "Max," she whispered, "they will take me if we leave. They will separate us. Permanently." He swallowed. She continued, voice trembling. "The only way to stop them is to complete the bond. If we do, it will register as irreversible." "Forbidden to interfere with, you're saying," Max said slowly, "that if we bond now, they legally can't take you away." "Yes, and if we don't, they will." He exhaled. Long. Slow. Lyra stared at him, huge and powerful and terrified. "I will not force you," she whispered. "If you do not wish this, if you are afraid, I will surrender myself. I will bear the punishment. I will." Max put a hand over her mouth. "Aelira," he said softly, "I'm in love with you." Her eyes widened. "And I want this. I want you, all of you, even the parts that terrify you." She made a small, broken sound. "Aelira," he whispered, "I want to bond with you." Her knees nearly buckled. "Are you certain?" she breathed. "Yes, forever is a long time. I know. Your life is short, much shorter than mine. You will die before I do. Then you'll get decades of quality time. That is not funny, it's a little funny." "Max." He held her face in his hands. "Aelira, I choose you. Now, and forever. If forever means 60 years or 6,000, it doesn't matter." She covered his hands with her own. "Max," she whispered, "I choose you." Something shifted. Between them, inside them, around them, a vibration. Warm. Electric. Cosmic. Aelira gasped. "The bond." Max he took her hand. "Let it happen." Light pulsed around her body. Her armor glowed. Her hair brightened. Her skin illuminated with swirling patterns. Like galaxies moving across her. Max felt warmth flood through him, peace, safety, something like gravity, but softer. It wasn't like falling in love. Was like standing solidly inside it. The bond, completed with a soft crackle of energy. Aelira inhaled sharply. "Max." Her voice sounded different, warmer, resonant, connected. He squeezed her hand. "Yeah, it is done." He smiled. "Then they can't take you." Aelira laughed, breathless, relieved, overwhelmed. "They will be furious, good, and terrified. Also good. And very confused how such a small creature became mated to me." He grinned. "Tell them I have skills." "Max, What? Emotional skills better. Another plasma blast shook the building. Aelira rolled her shoulders. Her aura glowed brighter. They are coming, she said softly. Drones cannot enter the shelter, but they will surround it. Max cracked his knuckles. Then let's talk to them. You want to talk to the homicidal robots who came to kidnap me? Hey, Max shrugged. I have diplomatic credentials. You lost them. Semantics. She sighed and lifted him effortlessly. You are the bravest and stupidest human alive, and you love me. Fortunately, she groaned, but couldn't hide her smile. Outside, the drones hovered around the entrance. Aelira stepped out, holding Max. Max crossed his arms confidently. The snow swirled dramatically around them, like the universe had hired special effects. Sarith's hologram flickered again. Aelira Vesh, what have you done? Aelira stood tall, 9 feet of glowing, bonded fury. I have chosen, she said. I forbid you have no authority over my bond. Sarith stared in disbelief. This is impossible. A human cannot. Max waved cheerfully. Hi, Sarith sputtered. You dash this, dash how, dash why. Max shrugged. I make great pancakes. Aelira nodded solemnly. He does. And, Max added, we're in love. Aelira froze. Max froze. Sarith froze. Aelira's voice became very quiet. Max, yeah, you just told the High Counselor we're in love. You're welcome. She stared at him, then kissed the top of his headright in front of the drones. The drones beeped in mechanical confusion. Sarith sputtered again. This violates at least 4 treaties. And Aelira Veshu realized the consequences. Aelira smirked. Yes, and you accept them. She glanced down at Max, her bonded human, her impossible love, her panic room partner in crime and destiny. Yes, she said softly, I accept everything. And what of the biological risk? Sarith demanded. Aelira shrugged. If he impregnates me, then he impregnates me. Max blinked. That's not how biology usually works, but I respect the declaration. Sarith screeched something unintelligible and the drones whirled away, presumably to alert the entire conclave that the universe was officially broken. They disappeared into the storm. Silence settled. Aelira exhaled, shoulders relaxing. It is done, she said. We are bonded forever. Max laced his fingers with hers. Forever sounds perfect. Aelira looked down at him with an expression so soft it could melt glaciers. Max, yeah, if I do become pregnant, yes, you will help. Everything you need. You will be supportive, absolutely. You will not panic, probably. And you will not tell anyone that I said this. What? She leaned close, whispering, I hope it happens. Max's heart exploded into fireworks. Aelira stood there, glowing, holding him like something precious. Snow falling gently around them, the universe could try to pry them apart. It already failed, and it always would, because humans weren't fragile, and Xanthari weren't unlovable, and love and ridiculous, impossible, love -1. Every time.